a tough opponent from the start, but it seemed like your group had that energy. Of course, you get back into it early in that first quarter. And like you said, the start kind of led to some good play down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, we were focused from the start. Excuse me. It took us a while to get like kind of our offense into any kind of rhythm out there, but guys kept guarding, executed the game plan at a high level, took the challenge. Really proud of them. Didn't matter. Everybody really contributed to this, this effort, this performance.
Yeah, everybody did for sure. And Anthony Edwards, one of those contributors. Both ends of the floor so solid. But what can you say about the defense you saw from him tonight? Those blocks and the steals and everything?
I mean, it could be one of his most complete games he's played since I've been with him. Every facet. He made the big plays. He made the little plays. He played all the way through the game. He really imposed himself. Offensively and defensively, gave us great life.
Chris, you said, I think last week that you'd seen Ant start to try to shoulder a little bit more of the leadership and things. I mean, is this kind of an extension of that and just with Cat out, taking the bull by the horns?
Yeah, I mean, it's, not just the game, but it's his voice in the locker room is growing and growing. And, it's great to see and much needed for this team and for him. He's got it in him. He's an extremely likable teammate. Everyone believes with that. When you have him on the floor, he's going to do great things, and now he's learning like how to back it up with some words to help his teammates as well. So.
Can you tell us kind of what went into the decision to put Moore in the starting lineup and just how you thought he handled himself tonight against Ja?
He was great. I thought he was really, really good. A solid. He took the challenge. He kept them contained. Got off to a good start. Defensively. I mean, we kind of wrestled a lot of different ways we were going to go when Jaden was the late scratch. But the reality was we wanted somebody who would give us good defense. If it allowed me to lengthen the rotation a little bit. I knew it was going to be a tight rotation, so it allowed me to lengthen the rotation. And it allowed us to kind of absorb any early foul trouble if there was going to be someone guarding Morant. And then, we knew we had other guys we wanted to slide to him. And I wanted Jalen coming off the bench because – I needed some punch there, but then we were just better with, all three of those guys on the floor offensively for the rest of the game. So we kind of switched and went to that.
What did you see worked for Wendell just in being able to bother Ja a little bit and what he did well?
I thought he had outstanding position. He picked him up. He kind of slowed him down. He got he got him in the direction that we wanted him to go. And he didn't try to kind of over pressure him or anything like that. I thought he did a great job of containing. And then he was physical on the glass, put his body down there. Did a lot of just really solid things that we need. And, offensively, as the game wore on, he got a little bit more confident and aggressive. So.
Talked about Ant's voice kind of growing with Cat out. Do you think that expedites the process on like a necessity, mother of invention type thing?
Yeah, I don't think it's, I don't think that it's a result of Cat being out. I do believe it's, it's something that's been coming for a little while, for a few weeks with Ant. He knows that everyone has to step up and, in any way possible. So I think maybe, there might be some element to it, but it had been coming along just before Cat's injury.
Why do you think his play is so often such a barometer for this team?
It's energy. When he plays with great energy, it's like pulsates through the rest of our guys. He makes big plays. He makes plays that can swing a game. He's had a great. He's always had a great sense of timing. And I thought tonight he did a good job of not settling and keeping the pressure on. So. Did
the havoc wreak defensively remind you a little bit like of a last year vibe?
Well. Yeah, we 27 turnovers. I mean, that's basically what built our defense on last year was turnover generation, getting out and running off those. Thought we were outstanding in our shell defense tonight. We were backing our high wall at times, which created a little bit more fly around. They got a couple cheap buckets out of it, but we've been working a little bit more on that in the last few days. Just try to get those habits back and be more aggressive.
I was going to ask about the defensive concept. So that was just kind of like the idea was like boxes and elbows, kind of shell concept more so?
I mean, we've gotten away from it a little bit. Like we've put so much pressure on Rudy trying to clean everything up, and we were so worried about always guarding the three-point line. And at the time, we kind of got to a point where we were giving up threes and giving up layups, So it happens in the NBA, the slippage when you don't have the time to practice, when you have, different lineups and different games and different game plans coming at you. We got away from it. That's on me. That's my job. I got to make sure that we get dialed back into the basics. So
you talked before the game about wanting to spread it out a little bit more with the pick and roll game. Rudy was in foul trouble, but it seemed like you got some good things out of that in the fourth quarter. What did you see from that when you went to spread pick and roll?
It was a lot of action before we got to the pick and roll. I thought I was able to loosen them up just enough, and then we were downhill, and I thought we made all the right reads. Ant made a couple huge kickouts. When they were sitting there in the gap early, we got off it early. We didn't play with a lot of hesitancy. In the second quarter, it was really about solving our spacing at halftime. That's all we had to do. So once we had better spacing, we had better reads.
When Ant and Jalen are on the floor at the same time, good things have happened most of the season on defense as well as offense.
Yeah.
Strangely enough. And so I'm wondering, is part of that just the pace you want in a game, both ends? I mean, just the team seems to play with a lot more pace when both of them are in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's, two of our better, quicker athletes, they can get out and transition. We desperately need that. And, and they also can, both get you a late clock bucket too, isolation. So. And
the fact that they seem to look for each other, almost like instinctively.
Yeah, they do. I mean, a lot of times, the way that they play similar in some sense. So they're loaded up too, and when they're near each other on the floor, they do a good job of getting off it and sharing it.